Welcome to another amazing edition of AGAHG Glassware. Just like every other edition of AGAHG Glassware is amazing. Your host, John, will be taking you, as usual, to explore a unique glass to pair with its beer and its various shapes, sizes, silhouettes, and features. And today we will be focused on Trappist Orval. Let's all give a round of applause to Matilda of Tuscany, who in 1070, as a widow, she dropped her own wedding ring into the so-called Matilda fountain, which is actually still used to make the beer, Orval. That water is still used in the brewery. And she prayed to God that it came back to her, and this trout right here brought it up in his mouth and handed it right to her. There you go. Beautiful story about that. And that was in 1070 that she dedicated her life to, or her time to put the monastery in there to thank God back for that nice gesture that he did for her. And throughout the years, it was ravished by many things, like in the 1252 fire. It was down for about a full 100 years. In the 15th and 16th century, there was wars going on, and the Emperor Charles Quint allowed the monks to start a foundry there, and that's how they paid for the repairs during those wars. And then in 1782, there was, throughout the years, they built a new church there. But in 1793, only 11 years later, French Revolution soldiers essentially just destroyed it. They took everything, they robbed it, and then they set it afire. And then after that, nothing happened to it until 1926, when whoever was in charge of the land at that time gave it to a bunch of Cistercian monks, and they started rebuilding it. And then so the monastery, the new monastery was done in 1948. But along the way, they were getting funds for it by the fromagerie, which was made in 1928, and they put the brewery in 1931. And when the brewery was opened, they had the beer released the same year, 1931. And the original brewer, the brewmaster, was German. And he made the recipe actually for this with the help of, according to legend, two Belgians, one of which, and they were working at the brewery, one of which was in England for many years, and he brought forth English brewing techniques such as dry hopping. So after they ferment this, they put liquid cane sugar in this when it cools down, and then they ferment it with the proprietary yeast. And they put it into holding tanks after that, and then they put the Brettanomyces and dry hop it in there. Such a beautiful, unique beer amongst all the diverse beers in the Trappist community. Now, this stands out as one of a kind in the Trappist community. And this right here, I will be drinking one of 22 million bottles produced last year. So let me get in there and take some pictures, and we will be back to have this beautiful beer in a minute. Hello, everybody. We're going to take a close look here at the Orval glass. This glass was designed by Henry Vase, and we have a silver rim, the Orval screen printing. We have, I call these logs. I don't know why, I just call these two logs. Now, one thing that we're going to compare here on that stem's very iconic. Just really quickly here, we're going to put that shime in front of there. The shime has those two things right there that are very similar to that. Now, this Orval has more of a cone shape here, almost like a funnel or like a coffee filter, and much steeper here, this angle, than in the shime glass. And then it has a very thick, very wide foot on there. And the bottom one of these two things, whatever they're called, is pretty much just like fused right into that, so it's not separated. This one has a divot in there, little separation. Do we have no, we don't have any. We don't actually have any nucleation site on this. And I don't have the fish on the one that I have, the trout. It's just the Orval logo with the silver rim. And get a little thing there on that. But let's get to pouring and let's get to drinking, guys. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you liked that showcase as much as I did. And let's dig right in here. Now, this is a fresh bottle. This is from around November. So it's much hoppier and really like fresh fruit up front when it's new. I like them better when they're older. They have more of like a kind of a yeastiness, more that Brett comes out more, it evolves more, less of a bitterness. They're pretty hoppy and bitter up front. So let's see. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna enjoy this tonight. This is my second beer today. Unlike Chimay, by the way, the fromagerie here only sells to France and Belgium, I believe. Unless it changed, that was on their website though. So that could have changed. But Chimay's you could find in stores around here in United States of America. I'm in Pennsylvania. Guys, that's wonderful. I got this on Orval Day. I just wanted to point out that I got this on Orval Day. And they sell it near cost on Orval Day at the place that I got it. Actually, I only have like 3 left. I hate aging beers anymore. I need to buy a lot to do that. And I hope y'all like my fish here. It isn't a trout, I don't think, but no, probably an ocean fish. Another one of the books for A Guy in His Glassware. I'm John, and peace.